The Phoenix Rising pregame show is brought to you by Reese's Dental and Braces.
Casino Arizona Field, Phoenix Rising playing host to their final regular season game of 2019. Tonight's pregame brought to you by Reese's Dental. Better than wet socks, new socks being handed out here at the stadium. And yes, it is dollar beer night. Should be a near capacity crowd, maybe over capacity, as Jason Johnson, Zach Lubin, and Solomon Asante ready to take on Oklahoma City Energy, who are already outside of the playoff picture. Joined by Gary Bailey, Mike Watts. Let's take a look at how the standings sit right now for Phoenix. They've run away for quite some time.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. I mean, look at that, 75 points. The next is 57. It's a stunning, stunning season from every prospective angle. Records falling. By the way, just looking at that table, spare a thought for LA Galaxy 2 and San Antonio, not yet confirmed in the playoffs.
4 teams for 2 spots. That'll all be settled tomorrow. But for Phoenix right now, we're just trying to settle where this record season ends. For the club, they know it's a record season. They could dominate the league record book as well.
They can. A win takes them to 78 points. Cincinnati hold the record with 77. 23 wins so far. 24th would also be a league record. Yeah, records falling left, right, and center. Absolutely brilliant. You sort of run out of things to say about Phoenix Rising this season. That's how good they've been.
Give it a little time. Maybe we'll have more to say. Solomon Asante, what can you say about this guy?
Oh, come on.
Only individual records left for him.
Come on. I mean, this could be at the top level anywhere in the world, the way this guy plays sometimes. You know, and it's not just goals, it's the assists, it's his all-round play. He drags maybe 1-2 defenders to keep an eye on him. That leaves gaps for others. This guy, without question, obviously is the star of the season across the entire league. I just hope he can carry it through right to the end.
We're going to find out. For Phoenix, trying to finish on the right note. For OKC, they really haven't. 7 winless. It's been a long time since they've been in the playoff picture. We've got lineups, kickoff coming up next.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Mobile Mini is a lockdown defender. Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
Casino Arizona Field in Scottsdale. Tonight's game brought to you by Equality Health and joined by Gary Bailey. Manchester United legend Mike Watts on hand. Referees have the ball in hand, and we're about ready for kickoff here in the regular season finale for both these sides. Let's take a look at starting lineups for this affair, and we begin with Phoenix Rising. Perhaps maybe most surprising, not a lot of changes.
Yeah, Junior Flemings and Kevin Lambert come back in from international duty, but up front, I mean, what a front three that is. Adam Jean, absolutely brilliant as your target man. Asante, the creator. Vaquero, good to see him fit and playing. And Lubin in goals. Well, he made a mistake last time out. Let's hope he puts that behind him and plays to his normal high standard.
Well, we'll certainly find out. He's up for goalkeeper of the year in the USL Championship. Meanwhile, for Oklahoma City Energy, they're without their captain, Cody Lorendi. Had surgery last week. He is out for this final game. They made a handful of changes largely because international duty is over.
Yeah, 4 changes from the team that lost 2-0 at home to RGV. As mentioned in goals, Brian Byers is in. And then Alvin Jones, Mikel Williams, and Yvonne Watson all come back. And so it's 4 changes in total. So you can see what a change all the internationals has made to both sides.
You know, usually the backup goalkeeper stays quiet, but into the spotlight goes Byers, and, well, here you go, a little banter.
I love the banter. He's going to have a beer should they win. My only question is if they lose, do they get to pour a beer over him? But I love his attitude. This is what you want in football. You want a little bit of, you know, winding each other up, and it's all done in the right spirit. And good luck to him. Only 1 appearance this season. Not often you get to play when you got Lorendi around, so hopefully he has a good game tonight.
There was warming up a moment ago. Now red smoke is billowed out from the supporters section. And Byers heads to goal. Big moment for him. Zach Lubin heads back to goal. He gets the call in net tonight after a strugglesome game last time out. A shocking finish with Coffey's 90-plus second-minute goal that allowed Real Monarchs to end a 17-game home unbeaten streak for Phoenix Rising. They know they'll finish the season at home, and they know it doesn't end tonight. But it is Dollar Beer Night, and it is a chance to set a league-wide win and point record. Phoenix Rising closing it out against Oklahoma City. The playoffs looming 8 days away.
Yeah, and very important, besides all the records, is to get back on the winning ways for Phoenix Rising, because, yeah, there's no point getting the records and then you slip up in the playoffs. That's really what it's all about. So can they get back to winning ways? Just 1 win from the last 4. Not really good enough if you're a Phoenix Rising fan.
Meanwhile, no wins in the last 7. Certainly not good enough for Oklahoma City, and really quite staggering what's happened to them since August the 24th. They were in 8th, beat Austin, went to a tie for 4th, and then tumbled right out of the picture.
They have tumbled out, and Coach Steve Cook was saying to us it's international call-ups have really decimated their squad at time. They had 5 knee surgeries, 1 player in a car crash. Yeah, it's been a tough season, but the players are good enough to have made it, and I think they'll feel they've let themselves down this season.
Vaquero, who's still maybe a bit below 100%. Asante getting to the byline, slipping the cross, and Byers collapses over it.
It's a great run there from Solo. You see how he tempts you into trying to tackle him? If you dive in there, it's a penalty. You don't dive in, he gets the cross in. Oh, he's amazing.
Let's take a look at tonight's Mayo Clinic injury report. Why is Byers starting? Well, Lorendi's out. He's one of many. And meanwhile, it's nearly a clean bill of health for Phoenix Rising. Alessandro Ricci is on the bench for the first time in over 400 days as well tonight.
Good to welcome him back after a real problem with injury. Horrible to see that for any player, and just hope that he can get back in the team, get back in playing, and get this injury crisis behind him.
Well done by Lambert sliding in. He's back from a yellow card accumulation suspension. Maintained by Lambert, and over to Dumbuya. Asante looking toward John. Nobody's joined him in the attack there. Ibiaga drives it away.
Good ball in and a good touch. I wasn't quite sure if Jean thought it would reach him. He didn't really play it to anyone in particular, just put it into the danger area. No one read it this time, but there'll be plenty more opportunities if Asante keeps whipping in balls like that.
Dumbuya. Couldn't quite slip that through. Came to Javon Watson and now Garcia. Garcia combining. Lubin has to come out a long way, nods it back upfield. Down to Isley. Kel Williams played Trinidad and Tobago in the most recent Nations League window. Play will come back as Deshaun Brown got cut down.
Good refereeing there. Allows the sort of advantage for a short while. No advantage accumulates, so he brings it back. Just looking at OKC energy and just thinking if this is your last game of the season, which it is, you want to play well. You want to put out a good performance. It's been a tough season. Let's see if they can at least show us what they're capable of here tonight.
Garcia spins that in front, and Lubin has to knock it aside. A little touch would have been enough from Isley to knock it home.
It's a good save from Zach Lubin. That is not an easy ball as a goalkeeper because you don't know if someone's going to get a touch on it, so you wait. No one gets a touch, and then you have to react quickly. Zach Lubin makes a good save in the end. That's a good free kick, a testing free kick.
Isley 5 goals on the year. Able to knock that through. Carvana corner coming. Garcia this time beyond Isley. Here's Asante. Good link-up play as Flemings bypasses the challenge. Not by Ross initially. Flemings returning from international duty with Jamaica. Lambert. Dia crossing. John redirects it wide.
Good chance for Adam Jean, maybe not to score, but at least to make the goalkeeper work. Hasn't got anybody on his shoulder, no one pushing or shoving him. Have a look. It's a lovely ball in and finds him unmarked at that near post. Got a hit target from there, but once again, Adam Jean, the focal point of the Phoenix Rising attacks.
Time to take a look at tonight's Alsco uniform report. Black tops, black shorts for Phoenix. OKC all white tonight, the green and blue trim. Turned over to Williams. John not letting this go. Funny thing is, Gary, only one goal in the last 4 games for Oklahoma City. They've got Deshaun Brown, a big-time goal scorer historically, the MLS and USL level. You would think that they've got something up their sleeve tonight, and I think OKC, if they decide to play less expansive, could go after what the Monarchs just did last time out, perhaps a blueprint to try and knock off Phoenix.
Yeah, the Monarchs with a very, very low block, which means they defended basically in their third of the pitch and try to counter-attack.
Well done to find Brown here, and his shot blocked.
OKC don't seem to be sitting deep. They look at the number of white shirts in that half. They're going to have a go by the looks of it. Maybe that's how they see the final game of the season. You know, we've talked about so many players who can score goals. Garcia's got 6. Isley's got 5. Deshaun Brown, of course, 14. This team should be in the playoffs, and I think talking to Steve Cook, it's really been a huge disappointment for them and their fans that they slipped from what you said was 4th place to being where they are now, which is 15th.
One would imagine some level of change will come out of that. There'd be individuals trying to find new pieces, new roles. Who knows? But Oklahoma City is expected the playoffs in the Jimmy Nielsen era, and for Steve Cook, who I think you and I both have a great fondness and respect for, well, it's been another disappointing year for them.
Yeah, and it's also concerning what he said before this game, Steve Cook, that his concern is not Phoenix, but whether he can put out and prepare the guys to be in the best frame of mind. That would worry me because, you know, you're playing for your club. You should be in a good frame of mind. It's the end of the season. It's the last match against the team that have been absolutely outstanding all season. Why wouldn't you be excited to go and play Phoenix Rising? So, yeah, it does suggest something behind the scenes that needs to be worked on, and I'm sure if they can work on it next season, there's no reason why they can't be in the playoffs. They've got enough good players to be there, no question about that.
Won by Baquero in midfield. slipped ahead beyond Aginaga. With Atiba Harris running it all the way down. I mean, very quietly, you look at their roster. How much turnover do you have generationally coming up for them? Watson and Harris, 35 and 34 years old, respectively. I wonder if they're part of the long-term plan.
Yep.
You know, both guys with still international call-ups in their recent history.
Yeah, both guys that with their experience, you would expect them to be able to do well in this league. There's a number of clubs who have to play reasonably young players. Yet when you're 33, 34, you should be able to get a team that's good enough to win enough games to get into the playoffs. So once again, yeah, OKC with a lot of soul searching to do in the off-season before next year begins. But I'm sure with the quality they have, they'll find a way to bounce back.
Corey Whelan, whose red card suspension was rescinded, took an elbow to the face from Conrad Plua and responded not quite in kind.
I think Corey's an ex-Liverpool player. They're tough there. They're not going to take a knock in the face without having something to say about it. But good to see that the league overruled the decision. Very difficult for refs, so can't blame the ref necessarily. Things happen quickly. Did he hit him? Did he not? But good that they're able to correct what seemed like an error and that Corey gets to play here today.
Williams under a bit of pressure. John chasing. And will slip back to Cochran. The best play on a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford. Shop Arizona's largest selection of new Fords with no hassle, no pressure, and no nonsense. Sanderson Ford, America's most awarded Ford dealership for customer service. Shop Sanderson Ford. 10 minutes in and scoreless. Fairly wide open game at the outset.
Yeah, it has been. There's no way OKC are following what Real Monarchs did, which is to sit deep and counter. They're going to have a go here. They want to, as we said, they want to end on a positive note. And to be fair, if you can come to the team that has absolutely been outstanding all season and beat them on the home turf, that's the best way you can end off your season if you're OKC.
Aginaga knocks it wide. Brown trying to slip around Cochran. Got a foot on that and knocked it out for a Oklahoma City throw.
How quick was Brown there when he turned? I mean, he gave Cochran 3-4 yards and still nearly got past him. Super quick to Sean Brown.
Brown, first round pick, 6th overall in 2013 in the MLS Super Draft to Colorado. Finished 2nd in Rookie of the Year voting. Cochran, a first round pick in 2014. KC set up in a fine position here in the final third now.
And this is what they want. Set pieces, get the big boys in. Doesn't matter how you get the goals here. You've got Garcia who can whip them in. And certainly cause a few problems there if the ball's a good one. Let's see what happens.
Garcia, 6 years with the Galaxy in MLS, 45 games. Garcia punched up by Lubin. Settled by Watson. Williams. Williams again. Isley. Watson. Williams, third time the charm, the cross. Little punch there, ball knocked in front. Lubin got a piece in the follow-up. Wound wide of the post.
Chance, wasn't it? I can just see Zach Lubin there, a little bit annoyed with himself. His punch didn't clear the trouble. He made a save, and Atiba Harris should have at least hit the target. He's knocked it wide of the, unless it took a deflection, we didn't see it. Have a look at Zach Lubin here. Ball comes in, guts the punch, but only gets it 3-4 yards, comes back out. Atiba Harris got a hit target from there. He's missed it completely. Look, the goalkeeper knocks it back to him and he still can't hit the target. That's a good opportunity lost and missed by OKC.
Here comes Asante. Asante taken down from behind. And Phoenix has done their job here. 13th minute. It's a yellow card for the foul and a penalty.
Yep. Make contact with Solo when he goes in there. You've got to be so careful. and you've gone from one end where they could have scored right down to the other, and you get punished for not taking your chances. You can debate with the referee all day long. Let's have a look here. Solo takes him on. And you fall and you touch him. It doesn't have to be a lot of a touch, but Ibiagi gets enough of a hand on his back there, and Solo's going to go down. Amazing, isn't it? That's how good Phoenix are. You get one chance, you don't take it, bang, down the other end, and they get a penalty.
Well, it must be Solomon Asante. His disappointment so obvious against Fresno. They trailed in that game 2-1. He won a penalty. Failed to convert. Team got a second. Failed to convert a second time. But the team's reaction is what really stood out to Rick Shantz and the staff after that. He's on 22 goals. The league record is 25. A hat trick tonight would do the job. Asante can move one closer. The Golden Boot very much in his grasp. Asante, stutter step, saved by Byers.
Wow, good save from the goalkeeper. But that now 3 misses in a row for Solomon Asante from the penalty spot. And it wasn't a good penalty. He took a stutter step, but then when he hits it not too hard, within the goalkeeper's reach. All the goalkeeper has to do is go the right way, which Brian Byers does. And he's talking about, the goalkeeper's talking about having a beer on this pitch should they get a win. Well, he's helped his team at least have half a chance. You can see it wasn't a good penalty. It's too easy for the keeper going the right way to make the save. Maybe it's time for Solomon Asante to give the penalty taking duties to somebody else.
9 for 12 this year on penalties, according to Soccerway. It almost sounds like a mistaken statistic. It says 9 penalty goals for him of his 22. Asante fires it forward. Doumbouya serves the cross back to the penalty spot for Aguinaga.
Oh, I'm trying to catch my breath. A great chance at one end for OKC. A penalty saved at the other end, so everything's level. Lots of excitement for the fans.
Asante got this cross away, and Byers able to control. Phoenix Rising, pleased to have players from GYSA United as tonight's First Watch Ball Kids. Be sure to visit firstwatch.com to find your neighborhood First Watch, the daytime cafe.
I think OKC more than delighted that they got that penalty saved, because the stats when Phoenix Rising score first are 20-0-0. So you don't want to go down to Phoenix Rising.
That's pretty daunting, huh? So that means they are 3, 4, and 6, and they don't score first. Even then, I'd take that.
Yeah.
Aguinaga stabs it ahead. And the blistering speed of Junior Flemings. Flemings unimpeded. Knocks it over to Asante, and it's parried aside by Byers. Well, Byers has been called into service a couple times now and denies Asante again.
Yeah, decent save from the goalkeeper. It's at him. It wasn't the best shot from Solomon Asante. Great run from Flemings. What pace, just accelerates, puts Solo in. It just, his first touch takes it away from his body, and then he can't get any power in it. Straight at the goalkeeper, comfortable save. But again, the brilliance of Phoenix Rising on that counter-attack.
But Caro, the ensuing corner. Header knocked down. Lambert turns. Asante blasts it over the bar. And it might be one of those nights. You know, we heard Solomon Asante to an extent, maybe a bit bothered by the accolades that he was closing in on. His expectations so high. He's an assist away from owning the league record, 3 goals from tying the league record.
Well, he might have high expectations, but that could have been a penalty. But that's not an expectation. You've got to hit target from there. But I hesitate to criticize him too much, because you know what? He might still get a hat trick. But that's a bad miss. He knows it. He's a top-class player. 17 caps for Ghana. It doesn't come easy. But that's a bad miss. It was a very poor penalty. But the rest of his play has been sharp and exciting. So hard to criticize him. It's hard to criticize someone who makes the penalty, even though he then misses it.
OKC off a recycled ball. One great opportunity off a set piece directly. Phoenix has 3 or 4 of their own here in the opening 18 and a half minutes.
I say something I've noticed about Phoenix is that this run of only 1 win in 4 has been an unlucky one in many respects. Fresno, 2 penalties missed. You know, even against Real Monarchs last time out, it's a Zach Lubin mistake at the dying moments that cost them.
You mentioned it to Rick, a Calistri shot off the post.
Yes, yeah. So it's like, it's not that they're not playing well. They're playing well. It's just, whereas earlier in the season, everything went for them. They were scoring goals late in matches. And it all worked for them. Now it's a situation where maybe the luck has gone against them. If that's the case, get it out the way before the playoffs.
Corner for Oklahoma City. Bounces all the way through to Watson. Taken away. Baquero. Lambert, head on a swivel. Naga reverts back. I mean, at this stage, if you're Phoenix, you're trying to figure out who your best 11 are, who your subs are in any given scenario. Asante, Flemings. Let's fly.
Yeah, look, there may be 1 or 2 areas where Rick Schantz might think of making some changes, but I was just wondering whether he might put out some of the sort of fringe players for this match. I think he wants to get his team back on winning ways. More important than anything else is to get that rhythm of winning games as you go into the playoffs here. So that's why he's put out what looks like his strongest team.
Naga, Asante. Some fans thought that ball had ricocheted up onto Williams' hand. It didn't. Baquero. Asante into space. Knocks it to John! Adam John scores his 16th, and Solomon Asante stands alone as the league's all-time assist leader in a single season.
That's a fantastic strike, absolutely brilliant. He's got his back to goal, he turns, he bends it in far post. A top class finish, and the assist from Asante once again, which is why we said we couldn't criticize him too much for the penalty miss, because he's bound to have a part to play on Dollar Beer night. But that Adam Jean turn is absolutely top class. Have a look at it. The ball's going to come to him. It's going to come to Solo first, and he's going to get the build-up. So have a look here. There we go, Solo. Finds a bit of space, head up. Adam Jean back to goal, turns and whips it in the corner. It's almost like he's got a compass in the back of his head. That's how good that finish is.
Phoenix has finally broken through. Adam John in the 21st minute. He now moves into a tie for 4th among the league leaders in goals. And Solomon Asante, assist number 17, makes this crowd almost as happy as dollar beers. Maybe happier. It's close.
And I'll give you that stat again. When scoring first, Phoenix Rising is 20-0-0.
Oh.
So what are the chances of making it 21-0-0?
High.
It was a rhetorical question. But tough for OKC. This bad run continues, and while they didn't expect to get something at Phoenix Rising, they would have been hoping to have had a really good night. Perhaps they still can do. It makes it even tougher, and when you consider there's been a penalty miss already, maybe this is going to be a tough night for the visitors.
For John, 12 goals in the last 3 years combined between the championship and MLS. Early ball in, Lubin in control. Scored 3 in 10 games last year for Oklahoma City. Came into that team in July.
Little genius, such a good player, and so difficult to get the ball off him because his feet move quickly, and you think you can put a foot in there and he'll move the ball and you'll lunge and give away a penalty.
John, that is pure effort. peeks up, Lambert making the run. Ibiaga knocked it aside. Asante keeps it, and now Doumbouya. Asante on the cutback. And this is hammered from distance right at Byers. Let's say this about Asante. That was his 26th career assist in the league in just 2 years. Coming into this year, the all-time record was 32. I mean, what he's done in the last 2 years it almost defies logic.
It's not just the assists, it's the goals as well. It's his all-round play. And the thing is that when he gets the ball, he often attracts two defenders.
Sean Brown does well to swipe that ahead, and Brown sends it whistling by Lubin and the post.
It's a good run. His pace is so difficult for anyone to get close to him. And he gets that shot off. You can see Corey Whelan's trying to catch up with him. Wrong side of the keeper. For me, you've got to try and go that far post. But once again, Sean Brown shows you why he's got 14 goals this season. And again, leaves me confused as to why OKC haven't made the playoffs. With a player like that up front, really should be able to get there. Frustration for OKC, no question about that. The season hasn't been the best. They just got to try and end on the best note possible and look forward to next year.
You look at the teams who have a goal scorer with 14 or more this year. Irvin Parra is the only other player with 14 or more points, goals rather, he's with Las Vegas, that is not currently in playoff position. We're talking 15, 16 players. Lubin was outside the penalty area when he handled that ball.
He's saying no way. I thought it was close. Again, it's, you know, he made it. Well, he gets a yellow card for the deliberate handball, according to the referee. Now, with the mistake in the last match, you, as a goalkeeper, you watch other goalkeepers and you think you've got to keep it cool. Just don't do anything silly. He's not going to be happy with that yellow card and that error. He's got to get himself calm and just making the right decisions. But hard to call. Let's have a look. We've got a replay coming up. His foot's out. I tell you what, it's close. It's risky. Yeah, no, it's well out. From that angle, it looks well out. Maybe he should just kick the ball clear. That would have been a better decision in retrospect.
Well, I know you never made mistakes in goal. Never.
400 games for United? No, not once.
Not trying to say you once had the yips or not, but
Plenty.
something you want. Final game of the year. Garcia could go for goal here. Good whip on that ball. Flemings and Williams battle. Similar to Asante missing a couple penalties against Fresno. The way the team reacted with Zach Lubin's error at the end of the last game, quite impressive. Asante will watch this run beyond him, and Byers as well. No one really attributed any blame to Zach Lubin, in part because they felt they could have won that much sooner.
Yes, yeah, that was very much what Rick Shantz was saying, is it was up to the other players to have put the team 2 or 3 ahead. And Zach doesn't make many errors, and in the course of a season, every goalkeeper is going to do something wrong. So that was his moment. Best to get it out the way before the playoffs, and good tackle there. And I think that's the issue with Phoenix Rising. As long as they get back on winning ways, everything's fine.
Diaz looking for a yellow card on Jonathan Brown's challenge. Whelan had come up with that excellent slide previous. Referee in his 17th game of the year, his final game of the year in the regular season. Never give enough credit to the referees. Dejan Susak.
Yep. Not an easy job. I don't know if you've refereed games before, but
No.
I got asked once or twice. I just took horrendous abuse, and I was correct. I didn't even make mistakes, and I still got horrendous abuse. So no, tough job, and especially without video replays or anything, you're going to get it wrong occasionally. And I think players and managers must just accept that.
It was a good idea. Didn't totally come off. Flemings, and Byers has to leap up. He's going to have a career night because Phoenix is positively unloading on him. 28 minutes in, and Byers the reason it's still close. Quick corner, Baquero Punched away by Byers again. Asante. Aginaga. Vaquero again. Feathers the ball over right at Byers.
Goalkeeper with a couple of good saves there, and he is working hard tonight. He said he was going to have that beer if his team won. I think he'll need it anyway, whether his team win or not, because he'll have lost a lot of fluids working that hard.
It's a foul from John. Garcia clearly still hampered.
It's been an exciting start to this game. I mean, we're barely half an hour in, and we've had saves and penalties and goals and all sorts happening. So anyone who expected this to be an end of season, sort of everyone just going through the motions, has been anything but that.
By the way, the only other game tonight in the league has just recently gone to full time. RGV finishes their season with a 2-1 win against Portland, who were eliminated in the midweek from playoff contention. So spotlight's firmly on this one now.
RGV with a win against OKC last match for OKC, so a couple of decent wins at the end of the season for RGV.
Ball sent toward Brown, and well done by Cochran. Be a corner for OKC, and they can be quite dangerous on these set pieces.
Just got to get themselves back in the match, haven't they, OKC? And they've had a few little half chances, so they'll feel confident that, you know, they can take something. The problem they've got is, I don't think this is the only goal Phoenix are going to score tonight. They've had way too many chances. They've carved OKC open too many times.
Garcia, the veteran, 12 games in Champions League and CONCACAF. Garcia for Brown. Those hands on his head. I'm not sure that the head was the problem there.
It's a free header in the box. He might have thought he was being marked, but he got away from his marker. You get a free header 6-7 yards out, you've got to at least hit target. I think that's why he was holding his head. It's one thing if you hit target, the keeper makes a save, you go, well done, keeper. But if you get a chance and you don't even hit the target, that's on you.
Handled by Vaquero. When you think about OKC in the grand scheme, in the Open Cup, they had that crazy 4-3 win against Tampa Bay. That's when the Rowdies were unbeaten in 14 to start the year in the league. Vaquero, that's well done. And Lambert sends it ahead to Asante. Pinged out wide. Dumbuya on the cutback. Asante making a run. Lambert! Oh, he put it in! How in the world did he sneak that in?
That's a great strike. I thought that was going wide of the goal. He must have put all sorts of bend on that to get it in past Brian Byers there. And look at the loves and the hugs he's getting from the team. They're back on winning ways, Phoenix, just in time for the playoffs. And this is what they wanted, a good performance, goals, lovely play, creative around the box. The fans love it, the players love it. So sure, OKC love it. They're on the receiving end. I'd like to see that again as to how they got past Brian Byers at that near post of his. And here it is. You can see they're holding it up. He's looking. Where's Solomon Asante? Gets played inside. It goes past Asante to Lambert. It just looks like the keeper put it. Oh, look at the whip and bend on that. Wow, that's come from way outside the post and bent its way in. Keeper, could he have done a bit better? Perhaps, but take nothing away there from that strike. Absolutely brilliant.
Fourth goal for Lambert, fifth assist for John Vaquero. And this well-oiled machine, perhaps in part due to this imbibed crowd in Scottsdale, is pretty much in position to grab 3 points, set the league point and win record tonight, and turn their attention toward the playoffs.
Now for OKC, it's damage limitation, because to end the season with a 2-0 loss against Phoenix Rising is probably not the end of the world, given how awesome Phoenix have been this season. But this could get worse and worse, and you don't want to end up with a 4 or 5-0 loss.
Driven forward, and a touch there will lead to a corner. 77 points by FC Cincinnati a year ago. set the league record for both wins and points. Phoenix has gone blaring by most records, but this one will go right down to the wire. 20 straight wins at one point, 13-0-0 on Dollar Beer Night. 20-0-0 when they score first.
Yep.
This is a statistician's dream. Corner for Phoenix toward Lambert, cleared away by Atiba Harris. Booyah! There's Byers. There's a good chance we're going to feel bad for Brian Byers a bit at the end of the night.
Look, he's played well so far. He's saved a penalty. He's made a couple of really good saves. Looked good on the crosses. I'm not sure Lorendi could have done any better. It's just that when you make that comment about coming here to win and having a beer on Dollar Beer Night, and then the goals start flying in your net, it does leave you sort of slightly exposed to a bit of ridicule, but it's a bit of fun. It's good banter, and I would laugh there if a Phoenix Rising player takes him a beer at the end of the game.
Asante just beyond Flemings. That was picture perfect on first sight. What about this? Flemings kept it in.
That's great effort by Flemings. You're 2-0 up, you're cruising, final game of the season. You don't need to sort of break a leg, and yet he still runs flat out to keep that ball in play.
Doumbouya got over Asante. Came toward Aguinaga. KC in possession after the wheel and foul into the back of Brown. Williams played in Colorado. Steve Cook, you look at his history. He's an assistant Colorado Rapids under Oscar Pareja and Pablo Mastroeni. You're talking about a Rapids legend as a player, Mastroeni, and one of the assumed better coaches in the United States before he moved on to Tijuana. Pareja was actually an interim coach there briefly. Comes to Asante. Thanks to our friends at Jackson's Car Wash. You get a free car wash with every Phoenix Rising ticket. You can visit phxrisingfc.com/Jacksons for more information. At least one more chance to get a ticket Saturday night. Tickets flying off the shelf for that one. First round of the playoffs. There could be several free car washes remaining. It's just not officially on the schedule yet. Doumbouya had his hand up for this. Asante has been a menace, has everything but a goal to show for it.
Difficult for OKC, isn't it? They're sort of locked in their half. They're going to try and play their way out, and these black shirts are closing them down, making it so difficult for them. Look at them hunting in packs here, and well, they get through this one.
Brown sliced it the other way. Isley. Ross. Brown. Maybe another chance to cross. And Jonathan Brown couldn't find Deshaun Brown at the goal line. Corner coming.
Corey Whelan there with some good defending, not once but twice. What's so important for Phoenix now that they're 2 up is to keep a clean sheet. They've conceded 9 in the last 4 games. In the previous 4, they only conceded 1. 9 in the last 4 is not good enough. If you want to win the playoffs, you've got to keep those clean sheets, and starting tonight.
Corner crossed, and this lifted over by Christian Ibiaga, native of Nigeria, grew up in Edmond, Oklahoma, went to Deer Creek High School, played at Duke. His brother Sebastian on the Eastern Conference winning NYCFC in MLS. this game. Oklahoma City well out of the playoff picture, although this only technically the second, really first game, come to think about it. They were eliminated in their most recent game against RGV, but it looked like they were on the outs going into that game. Needed a miracle then. First game that they've been officially eliminated.
It's been a bad run. 5 losses and a draw from their last 6. And I mean, from a good position or a decent position for the playoffs, if you get a run of 1 point from 18, which is what 5 losses and a draw is from 6 games, then you are going to drop down the table like a stone. And that's what's happened for OKC. And yes, injuries and players on international duty, but then most clubs have players on international duty, including Phoenix.
But 9?
Yeah, 9's a lot.
Nine's a lot.
Yeah, it's been a tough spell, but it just hasn't gone for them, has it, in these last few games? And that's what's been critical.
Too far for Jonathan Brown. Call-ups to Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and St. Kitts and Nevis. 9 players in total receiving men's national team call-ups this year. And then what, you said 5 knee surgeries?
5 knee surgeries and 1 player in a car crash. So it's not your season from Steve Cook's point of view.
Well, this is not what you want to see. I mean, you and I talked about it coming into this game a bit, Gary. Everyone wants to get the points record, the win record. Every player wants to play. Rick Shantz was worried about inciting a riot by sitting some players. And yet you also want to make sure you don't get a hamstring pull or an injury of some kind that could, no pun intended, hamstring you in the playoffs.
Look, it's a tricky one. I would tend not to play players like Solomon Asante in these games where he's not needed, just in case he gets injured. But I can fully understand Rick Shantz saying, I need him to play, I need him to remain top of his game, and I want to keep momentum going, get back to winning ways. So they're both arguments. Obviously, if anything, God forbid, it happens to Solo, then you would say I was right, and if it doesn't, you say Rick Shantz is right. It's a risk, and the manager knows what he's doing, and he knows his players a hell of a lot better than I do. But just from the outside, I think, oh, please, no, don't get injured, because without him, it's not the same team. And I'm sure Rick Shantz is saying to him, if you feel anything, you come off straight away.
Looked like he may have gotten what cinematically might be called a mere flesh wound there. This is going to be such a good halftime. I mean, this is so much fun coming up. We're kicking it with your Phoenix CW. Adam Waltz takes you into the broadcast booth. One-on-one interview. TN Terrence himself, Tyler Terrence. Don't miss it. It's coming up at halftime. Asante returns from said flesh wound. Tyler and Devin tonight on their own national team duty of sorts. I mean, you know, Devin on ESPNU earlier today calling some Ivy League soccer. I mean, you know, better late than never getting into the Ivy League, right?
Well, they'll be back. They'll be back.
Tyler covering the MLS Cup playoffs in Salt Lake, so they'll be back soon enough.
And hopefully it's back for many games. You know, Phoenix Rise and go all the way. They've got the capability. And again, you think, what could go wrong to stop Phoenix Rising from going all the way and making this one step better than last season? And you think the only thing that could stop them is injuries to a couple of key players. They're so good. They're guaranteed all the home matches.
You know, but the #1 seed historically doesn't do all that well.
Oh,
I mean, Phoenix,
no, don't say that.
I'm not suggesting anything. Brown nearly put it by Lubin. That is a disastrous miscommunication, and Phoenix not made to pay for it.
Wow, that was close. In the end, Zach Lubin with a good save. That's that little switching off that you don't want to get into those bad habits leading into the playoffs. Yeah, the game looks easy, but the whole thing is about being professional for the full 90 minutes. If that had gone in, suddenly no clean sheet, suddenly OKC back in the match.
Look at this effort. It's right at Byers. Well, Lubin has to come up big. In part, it's Phoenix's own doing.
Corey Whelan there. In the end, it's a good save from Zach Lubin. gets a foot out there. I don't know what Corey Whelan was doing, but at the same time, Zach's got to tell him not to pass it back. He's got to be Corey's eyes and ears there.
Advantage played, Aginaga, Asante, straight on, Asante, deflects, Aginaga crosses, John!
Adam Jean, you got to hit target from there. He gives a wry smile. He knows in that situation there, just get it on target from that close. It's almost certain to go in. But again, good creative play around the box. And Solomon Asante is going to try and have a dip. He does. It comes a deflection. Keeper makes the save. Lovely ball across. Just get it down into the ground. If you get it into the ground there, Adam Jean, you've got a great chance of scoring. But it's all getting too easy for Phoenix Rising, isn't it? If you're OKC, and certainly if you're Steve Cook, you're going to get them in at halftime and say, guys, here we go, taking risks. Look at this.
John commits a foul, and the Phoenix players are incensed. Javon Watson was shed by the big body of Adam John, whose previous effort landed somewhere on the 202 or the 101.
I'm not so sure that was a foul. I think they were lucky to get away with the OKC, but that's the problem. They're taking risks, they're getting sloppy, they may be fed up. It's the end of the season.
Williams got the cross away, it slid into the net, but there was a handball in the lead up to it. I mean, it was a really beautiful goal if the handball hadn't been included.
I'm assuming the Phoenix players just stopped trying there, otherwise they maybe could have defended that. But certainly Steve Cook's going to have a word with his team, because you don't want to end a season getting hammered. And I mean, there's already been a penalty save. Adam Jean's had an open goal that he knocked over. Asante had an open goal that he knocked over. I mean, this could be a lot worse. This could be 4 or 5-0.
Step in here is a throw. We're 30 seconds into 2 minutes of stoppage time.
Good first half for Phoenix Rising. Yes, missed penalty. Yes, missed chances. Yes, they've been a bit slack at the back now in the game, but overall, wonderful play. There's some work for Rick Chance to do in terms of tightening things up at the back, trying to get strikers to actually hit the target and not balloon the ball over the bar. But other than that, I think the manager will be quite pleased.
6 saves from Byers in this game.
He deserves a beer. He might not win, like he said, but
Dumbuya over Garcia. All the fans are enjoying tonight. One of the great streaks in all sports history, depending on who you ask. On a beer night, 13 straight wins. They've even gone to other teams' dollar beer nights and ruined their evening. Doesn't matter where dollar beer night occurs, they always win. $2 spritzer night, not nearly. We've gone to 2 minutes of stoppage. Crowd's cheering, rightfully so. I mean, pretty dominant stuff in the grand scheme from Phoenix.
oh, absolutely. And Adam Jean might feel that he could have maybe hit that one on target, but his goal earlier was just top class. Back to goal, bends it in the far corner. Solomon Asante has been top class as well. And really, you know, there's been a few chances for OKC here and there, but overall, Phoenix by far the better team.
From the opening whistle, Lubin has had to make a stop or two. Largely one-way traffic. Asante draws a penalty. It looked like OKC had the magic elixir. Not so much. John, Lambert, Curlers, 2-0 at the half. Plenty coming up.
I'm Adam Waltz, and you're kicking it with your Phoenix CW. His energy from the booth will make you feel like you're actually at the game. I caught up with the voice of Phoenix Rising, play-by-play announcer Tyler Terrence. We look back at one of the most jaw-dropping finishes of the season.
And a diving header away, only as far as Calistri. Oh, Phoenix equalized!
You have a unique perspective of the game.
Town for what should be an epic night of football in the Valley of the Sun.
What's something about this team this season that you've noticed that you can kind of embark on us?
The ability for everybody to step up in different situations, and we've seen almost every single player on this team who stepped on the field at some point in time have their marquee moment.
Flips it in, John elevates for the header, back post, and it's Spencer! Flag stays down, Phoenix equalize!
I want to highlight one of the games, Tacoma. Rising's down 2-1. It's the 81st minute. 15-game win streak is on the line. When they're down 2-1, what are you thinking?
I mean, I'm thinking the same thing that my analyst was thinking. How could this winning streak come to an end against Tacoma Defiance? I mean, no disrespect to Tacoma, but I mean, come on, let it be Orange County, let it be New Mexico, but Tacoma, and that's where we were wrong.
Rising scores 2 goals real quick, and then after Junior Fleming scores his goal to make it 4-2 and put it away, you said, quote, you have got to be kidding me.
You have got to be kidding me! This team is from a different planet!
And I sent you that clip.
You did.
And what'd you think of when you first heard yourself back?
I wanted to shut it off because I was like screaming at that point, right? And you know, as a broadcaster, you're told to sort of like hone it in, keep it together. I mean, you know, like you just sort of have to be like sort of professional, but those sort of evoke the best moments, right? When it forces you to just be a kid about the game and not be a professional and just be emotional. So it's great.
Where does the Dollar Beer Night winning record rank among greatest sports streaks of all time?
It almost doesn't make sense, right? Like it's a cause and effect that isn't really there, but I think that the players know how much it means to the fans. The fans just embrace it for exactly what it is, which is just fun.
Watch more of my interview with Tyler Terrence and some word association right now on yourphx.com/Phoenix Rising. When we come back, highlights from around the USL. More Kicking It right after this.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Mobile Mini is a lockdown defender. Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
Gomez there. Gomez on the Bermudez. Bermudez puts it home. And Greenville scores. Pepe going for goal. He's given North Texas the moment.
You know, we've been averaging, between, I would say, 10 and 12,000 a game. And it is a loud, boisterous 10,000, 12,000, and they love us, and we love them just as much. I mean, it's a reciprocal relationship at all times.
We never thought that we would grow this fast.
I have to pinch myself because, you know, it sometimes seems too good to be true, but it's not. It's been pretty unbelievable, and, you know, it's been done better than I ever could have dreamt of, to be honest.
This is a club for New Mexico, by New Mexicans.
And I don't think that we're done yet. It's just getting started.
Awesome stuff around the USL Championship this year. Expansion teams making their name, just as Phoenix did with their rebrand. It's a sellout tonight at Casino Arizona Field. Back with Gary Bailey, Mike Watts. 2-0 lead at the half. Grand conclusion. One game on Sunday, it may mean everything in the East. It may mean absolutely nothing. We don't know.
We don't know. I mean, we've watched St. Louis sort of struggle and had a wonderful cup run, and they might not make it. Charleston Battery are on the edge. They might make it. They might not make it, and that will then allow Birmingham Legion either a very easy game or a very difficult game. So yeah, it's all up in the air. But that's what you want at the end of the season. You want teams battling to make the playoffs, which they have done in both the East and the West.
Now, Pittsburgh could be the #1 seed in the East, but no matter what, the championship will run on November 17th through Phoenix, so long as they advance the final on ESPN2. This is what the West looks like right now. Now, the play-in round is on Wednesday. Phoenix wouldn't know who they play till Wednesday night. It is the seed with the highest number, lowest seed, as producer Sharni made abundantly clear that Phoenix will face first.
I think either way, Phoenix at home against a team that finishes somewhere between 7th and 10th, I don't think that's going to bother them too much. It shouldn't do the way they've been playing and the way they're playing today. They look absolutely fantastic. I don't think Phoenix will get really tested until you start getting a little bit further down the line. They come up against an Orange County side, perhaps, who look like they're in wonderful form, or a Fresno team, or someone else who really is going to be a tough team to beat.
Like a Monarchs team that won here a week ago. Rising 2, Energy 0. How about we kick it some more? Your Phoenix CW.
Now a look at some of our favorite moments this season.
Forget the ball, watch this bottle.
Trying you.
The guys are even winning on the bench.
Hi, I'm Chloe Marr, and that was my favorite moment from the entire season. Of course, there was a ton of action on the field, but those off-the-field moments are what make the team so lovable.
Just cut through, so we call that an underlap.
My favorite moment from this past season was the first time that I was actually in the crowd with the Red Fury and Los Bandidos. I had no idea the energy level and like the stamina. They are going hard the entire game. And then when they pulled the smoke after the goal, ooh, that's one of my favorite moments as well. I just love the fans. You guys are amazing, and you kept us going and the team going.
Hey, I would have to say my 2 favorite moments of the Phoenix Rising season. One was Dollar Beer Night. Because every night that I went for the season for the Phoenix Rising, and they had Dollar Beer, they won. So you gotta love that. And then number 2 was Solomon Asante.
Yo, what up, baby? How you doing, man? You good?
If I saw him before the game and he gave me a fist bump, I knew he was about to score a goal, and that's what happened.
They keep the winning streak alive, and it's Amadou Dia.
Okay, so it's a home game against Portland. The score is tied up 2-2. Dia gets the ball.
He curls one in. Fernandez.
And headbutts it into the net.
Now Asante lofting it in, hoping
and puts Phoenix Rising ahead. And then the best part of it is this little wiggle dance he does.
Adam, back to you.
You're watching Kicking It on Your Phoenix CW. Stay right there because we're back with the second half right after this.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Mobile Mini is a lockdown defender. Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
Wonderful night so far for Phoenix Rising. They are 45 minutes away from the league point and win record, 2-0 over OKC Energy with Gary Bailey, Mike Watts. Here are the first half highlights. There are many. Good chance for OKC early, and never know.
Yeah, Atiba Harris there with a second chance to stick it in the back of the net. Misses the target. Zach could have done better with the punch, but he makes a save there. Comes back out to Atiba Harris. Misses the goal completely. And from there, literally from there, Solo goes away, gets a touch on the back from Ibiaga. Down he goes. Penalty it is. Yellow card to the defender. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And we were all hoping Solo would step up and score. What happens? Oh, well done to the goalkeeper, Brian Byers. He said he was going to come here and cause a few problems, the keeper. And he's had a really good first half.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Those were the best of times. For OKC, welcome to the worst. It's assist number 17 for Solomon Asante. League record, and John climbs the charts even further.
Brilliant turn, brilliant strike. Bends it around the keeper into the far corner. I tell you, it's very difficult for the keeper to get to that, and to be able to do that was wonderful. Good setup by Solo. And this Kevin Lambert, watch how this ball bends from way outside the post to just inside. Not sure if the keeper could have got a hand to it, but let's give all the credit to Kevin Lambert. Brilliant strike.
Solomon Asante sets the league record, 17 assists now. He has one hat trick in his USL Championship career. It was in August of last year. All 3 goals in the second half. He's 3 goals away from tying the league record set by Cameron Lancaster a year ago for the USL Championship final, winning Louisville City.
But he has the assist record, doesn't he? He's the assist king. Let's see if he can add the goal-scoring king to that.
Omar Gordon comes on. Christian Isley comes out. You thought Gordon was maybe the best player for the Energy in their last game.
I did. I thought he was excellent. His running at the defense against the RGV defense was really good. He was positive. He was strong. Maybe there's other reasons why Steve Cook's given him a break.
Slid away from Lambert. Well, that was a devilish slide. interested to know if Brandon McCarthy actually taught that slider to Kevin Lambert. You're not much of a baseball fan, are you? No, no. Cricket?
Cricket I get. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Cricket I get. Yeah. Sorry, I'm catching up with the American sports. I love my American football.
Do you?
And I do.
What are you? A what fan?
Well, it's
okay.
I should say Dolphins because we're from Miami, but I actually started off when I was in England watching the Bears in the famous refrigerator years, '85.
Yeah.
So I sort of got hooked on the Chicago Bears then. But we digress.
We do. All the way down to Lubin. Lubin at this point up for SL Championships Goalkeeper of the Year. He's allowed 24 goals in this, his 29th start. It's just been phenomenal. Nice little interchange. Sante held up and knocked by Baquero. Wheel in there. Lambert.
Just picking up the stats here. You mentioned Zach Lubin leads the league in clean sheets, 13. 13 and a half as we stand.
Gordon becoming a real problem. And the turf monster is taken down to Shorn Brown. But I think Rick Schantz felt like the clean sheet had become almost undervalued in the locker room of late. You know, everyone wants to score 4 or 5 goals. Sort of came away with the opinion that getting a clean sheet is equally valuable to him.
Yeah, very much so. And I think when you get to the playoffs and you play some really good teams, I'm just going to pick Orange County out as a top-class team in wonderful form at the moment. Clean sheets are critical. To try and outscore teams, very difficult to do. Keep a clean sheet. All you need is one moment of brilliance from Solo, and you've got to win.
How about a little brilliance from Junior?
Some hurdling going on there.
You know, I am a bit surprised. Yeah, the play had died down, but no advantage there. Fleming's on the bench for Jamaica in their Nations League A game during the international window. Set piece for Phoenix. Baquero. Byers handled that well. Aginaga toward John and bounces just wide. And Byers had to have a perfect conception of where that post was.
He did, because that could have been embarrassing if he let that go and it ends up in the back of the net. The goalkeeper's done really well for the visiting team. He's had a lot of work to do, but he's done it in a top-class fashion.
Taken away, Aginaga and Flemings. Flemings now. Asante, Flemings brought down, free kick. There's going to be a card for that. We'll go to Atiba Harris. That is his 10th of the year. He will escape any punishment for any further yellow cards at this point.
Yeah, it's not for the first foul either. They've been nipping away at the heels there. It's a little bit late. Nothing too serious, but again, Phoenix Rising positive, putting them under pressure, hunting around the box, getting turnover ball. It's causing OKC all sorts of problems.
Gary, can't you just feel what's coming?
I'm going to mention Solomon Asante top corner, are you?
Byers has been good enough that inside the 2 goals, I really wouldn't put anything past him.
I think Solo's got a better chance from a free kick than a penalty these days, judging by the last 3 penalties.
Sante has had some all-world bangers over the years. Ghanaian stands behind the ball now, looking to incite this Phoenix Rising crowd. Carroll. Oh no, it is Asante off the top of the wall. There is something to be said for sometimes it just feels like there's a lid over the goal. You hope that he figures that out for Phoenix Rising's sake in the final minutes potentially today in the first round of the playoffs, regardless of who Phoenix sees.
He's just such a wonderful player, critical in every aspect. If he's on form going into the playoffs, Solomon Asante, assuming that maybe you get somebody else to take the penalties, he'll score you free kicks, he'll get the assist, he makes Adam Jean tick. He's just a magical player. In fact, my only concern for Phoenix Rising, if I'm in the MLS and I'm watching him, I'll maybe targeted him for next season. That's how good he is.
Taken away by Flemings. Driving in, Harris heads it back to Byers. That's the problem with being good, right?
Yeah.
You think about Phoenix, you think about Louisville even last year winning the championship final. Ranjitsingh and Kyle Smith taken by James O'Connor to Orlando. A couple of those guys got a look. Phoenix can set the league point record and win record, tied for the wins already with Cincinnati. Cincinnati took 8-9 players with them to MLS this year. Brown, right at Lubin. So it goes with success. You have to find a way to replenish. Right now they still have work to do though. Lambert's still only 22 years old, as well as he's played this year.
Yep, it's also true is that players start to mature and you can get them as a 20-year-old, and 2 years later suddenly the MLS clubs are looking to take them away. And you're right, you just have to replenish. You have to find your own source of new talent.
Asante tried to thread the needle for John.
It's good pressure again from Phoenix, and you know they've scored 3 or more goals in 18 of their 33 games this season. So in more than half of their games they have scored 3 or more. One more goal and they can add to that.
Oh. Insane. Now enjoy the legendary Sonic Car Hop Classic with a juicy quarter-pound double cheeseburger or a 6-inch Philly cheesesteak plus tots for a knockout price $2.99. Bring it to the booth.
Oh, is that why your eyes widened when you read that?
I still have 20/20 vision, so I think that was it. That wasn't mine. I saw it fine. Coming up on the Sonic Happy Hour as well, so, you know. 60th minute's about to get crazy. Who knows? Tonight could be the night.
It's been a good night for Phoenix Rising, whichever way you look at it. 2-0 up, missed penalty, chances, good football all round, back on the winning trail going into the playoffs, and it's the one team that nobody's going to want to play.
What is it about Phoenix in maybe the last half an hour that has allowed them to really snuff out Oklahoma City's offense? Because early on, they did have a few pretty decent looks.
They did. They're just so good in so many areas. You know, you've got to watch Junior Flemings. You've got to watch Adam Jean and Solomon Asante. So a lot of your sort of OKC's focus is on stopping Phoenix, which means that you haven't got many players going forward then. It's when you play good teams that have all these players, and it's true of the Barcelonas of the world, you spend so much time worrying about their offense that you actually struggle to build anything yourself. Nice for Solomon Asante, puts the ball out there just to get Omar Gordon some treatment.
Couple of legs colliding there, and Gordon clearly worse for the wear. Jamaican international is down on the field exchanging pleasantries with Phoenix's Jamaicans in the lead up to this game. Old friends, compatriots coming together. Guy from Montego Bay United, age 28, time in San Antonio and with Indy 11 before they joined the championship.
Let's try and have a look what happened here. Did he bump into Solo at this moment? That wasn't
Lambert.
Solo, it was Lambert, yeah. He must have shouted because with that, down the shin.
Yeah, that is a flesh wound at minimum.
Yeah. I think Solo very decently there just turns around and puts the ball out so he can get immediate treatment.
I don't know how the Sox are doing, but rumor has it that they've been handing out free socks here at the venue tonight. Perhaps he may be in need. Steve Cook looks on at the end of the bench. A Sheffield native, studying to be a coach from 16 years old. Joined Sheffield Wednesday as a youth coach at 22 years old. And a guy who, by his own admission, felt it was the fastest learning experience of his life, being the Colorado Rapids interim head coach for a while. Guy who went to Clairefontaine and learned a bit there with a handful of other MLS coaches a few years ago, and he's got a nice pedigree, Steve Cook.
Yeah, and he's a great guy to talk to as well, and you sort of wish for him that something more could have happened this season with, I keep saying it's a decent team with the Sean Brown up front. Yeah, might not be top 4, but you certainly think top 10.
Brilliant Asante, and Baquero has it slid away from him by Ibeagha. Ibeagha, well-known commodity. I mean, most of the guys in this lineup tonight have played 25 or 30 games, but you don't see a lot of guys that have played 32, 33, and it's that adjustment constantly. And a couple key players who have not played the majority of games have been critically a problem. John, back heel, Aguinaga! Oh. Everything but the finish.
Once again, good play from Phoenix Rising, creative, causing problems in the box, desperate defending from OKC to not concede any more goals. Ball comes in, great first touch, Solomon Asante, and gets the ball in the box nice and early. Adam John, I mean, you haven't got time to defend against that. It happens quickly, it happens at pace, and only a desperate lunge at the end just puts Aguinaga off from scoring the third.
Aguinaga, who has improved and improved. Baquero, if you're Phoenix and you're a fan right now, just going to, try and get the Sonic gift card. Can you please wait 20 seconds? Fleming's fouled by Jones. And there is a little action there beforehand. And it may be a free kick that wins that gift card. Well, change is coming. It's time for the Sonic Happy Hour. It's brought to you by Sonic. Enjoy the Car Hop Classic knockout price. $2.99 if a rising player scores during this, the 60th minute. One lucky fan wins a $500 Sonic gift card. For more info, phxrisingfc.com/Sonic. We're in the minute. This is it.
Well, it's possible. Decent free kick. The position is good. Baquero on the ball. Anything could happen.
Oh, no, I didn't enter. Oh, Baquero from distance. Baquero came up about $500 short.
It wasn't far off, to be fair. It's a decent strike. Keeper is scrambling. It's just over the crossbar. But look at it from this angle. It's dipping. It's bending. Oh, good strike.
That's 167 Car Hop Classics in the rearview mirror. Brown comes off. He came in from Hartford mid-season. He joined Jimmy Nielsen and came back to OKC. Cordell Cato comes on. Watson, distinguished career, twice an MLS Cup runner-up in Houston, twice a Gold Cup runner-up with Jamaica. Those heartbreaking losses to the U.S. and to Mexico, and knocking off each of those teams in a semifinal in the Gold Cup. Watson turned to Aguinaga. That's a dangerous challenge from behind. Ross, as the yellow card hits the ground. It's the third player for OKC on the yellow.
It is to be expected. It was a bad tackle, deserved a yellow card. And I think the frustration beginning to creep up with OKC now. Have a look here, he lunges in and good skill from Aganaga, gets away from him. And Colin Ross just decides he's going to either take player and ball or player or ball if necessary. The referee drops his yellow card. The problem now for OKC, 3 players on yellows, as you say. They're frustrated, they're 2-0 down. It's the end of a season where they expected a lot more. Just hope this doesn't get away from them in the last 30 minutes.
Check that, that's a 4th, come to think of it. Ross, Ibiaga, Isley, and Harris. Header down in front. Cochran had knocked it down, and out to scramble over it is Byers, native of Oklahoma City, played at the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma, 31 shutouts there. Bounced around in the state of Oklahoma professionally out of college, and makes his 4th start of the year, 2 in the Open Cup, 2 in the league. Cody Lorendi out due to a surgical procedure, a minor one, completed this week. Kind of amazing, come to think of it. 2 of the 4 all-time leaders in saves could have played in this game, but Wazinski's on the bench and Lorendi is unavailable.
Quality goalkeepers everywhere in the USL, to be fair. Phoenix Rising, well, they have 2 top-class keepers battling it out for that #1 spot.
Jean. Give and go, sends Vaquero. Pursuit. Cato.
Difficult for OKC to play out. Look at them. Eventually they played their way out very well, but it wasn't easy. Black shirts everywhere closing them down.
And Lambert steps right in. Asante.
Oh,
Asante. Williams, you poor guy. Asante! And Byers has to slide down and palm it aside.
Asante just having fun with OKC now, right through the legs.
Cricket fan in you would say between the wickets?
Between the wickets,
Yeah.
that would be an English expression, yeah. That's what he's got in his locker. Asante's so quick with his feet that as you lunge, he can nutmeg you, get the ball wide, get shots in on target. I mean, again, such a wonderful player. We say it every time he plays. And throughout the season, he has just been top class.
You know, Gary here is an aged gentleman.
Careful.
Dumbuya, more on that in a moment. John, moving out wide. But just your exasperation when you see that play happen. I mean, that is maybe the most beautiful part of this game, that you've seen so much world-class football over the years and you're still going, wow.
Just a lovely moment. And I mean, we used to laugh about it whenever anyone nutmegged you or you nutmegged them. That was just the funniest thing. Nutmeg being between the legs, by the way, for those who don't know the English expression. It's just a fun part of the game, and Solomon Asante did it brilliantly a few minutes ago.
Half-field effort sends Lubin back toward his net. Yank that in. Seton O'Connor from the Dan Patrick Show. I'm a huge fan, by the way. Hi, my name is Seton. My name is Mike, as it turns out. From the Nutmeg State, actually in town for this game, by the way, worth note. And Ryan Madden from the league is there as well. They brought in the USL Championship regular season trophy, which was paraded around the Phoenix area over the last few days. So Nutmeg reminded me there's some honored guests here.
Has that trophy only been paraded around now? Because I think they won the title, what, about 3-4 weeks ago?
In the Premiership, when Liverpool is done winning it by 20 points this year. When do they give them the Flemings? Flemings trying to get in behind. Flemings trying to finish. Byers with the kick save.
That should have been the third, but for the goalkeeper, he's through one-on-one. Again, lax defending by OKC. And the goalkeeper, not for the first time, has saved his team. He's just saying, calm it down, just do what you got to do. OKC had the ball here, Alvin Jones rather, he's got it, and then somehow just loses control of it, and his goalkeeper gets him out of a sticky situation there. You can see the big defender had it, then lost it. Goalkeeper comes up, trumps.
Not Bayer's fault tonight.
Not at all. No. Not at all. He has been excellent. Decent penalty save. A number of other good saves. In fact, but for the goalkeeper, it could be 4 or 5.
To an extent, you think about a guy like him. Cody Lorendi is entrenched. He's the captain. He's the leader of the organization. He's a full international with Puerto Rico. He's the guy, right? For Bayers, this is invaluable film. He has put on a real clinic. Kyle Hyland will come in. He was on a yellow card, or rather a red card suspension coming into this.
And it was a harsh red, to be fair. We spoke about it with the coach last week as well, but Hyland really didn't do much. He got the first yellow for coming on the pitch before the referee called him on. I mean, really, is that worthy of a yellow? Then the second one, there was a clash of heads. And if he'd just gone down, I'm sure the ref would have done nothing, but he put his hand up to say sorry for the clash of heads. I got a second yellow.
Byers escapes. Kyle Hyland, the pride of Bay Village, Ohio, on Cleveland's near west side. Alvin Jones. He's been quiet so far. I mean, Alvin Jones scored that giant goal against the United States back in the World Cup qualifier in 2017. Yikes. Crazy 2 years since then. Aginaga looking for Flemings, and there's Alvin Jones there again. His brother is Jovan Jones, pretty well-known commodity. Dia trying to strip this defense down.
Okay, good pressure from Phoenix Rising. A high press is how they like to do it. Box you in, cause you problems, try and get turnover ball. Didn't work against Real Monarchs last week, but it's worked on virtually every other occasion.
Aginaga continuing. It's going to be a corner for Phoenix. Initially, it said bye-bye to Atiba Harris.
You just wonder if Real Monarchs, with their win last week, when you come to play Phoenix Rising in these playoffs, maybe teams will play low block. Because even here, OKC, as they've opened up, they've been caught in the counter-attack way too easily. Maybe the only way to play a team as good as Phoenix is just to defend in your final third of the pitch and just counter-attack.
Corner cracked across, open header, bounce in front. John with the finish. Gorgeous goal for Adam John. He's back to brace. Nice as you like in the 69th minute. 3-0.
Good finish, crowd are delighted, and they deserve it. They've been pushing, they've been pressing for this third goal, and it's eventually come. Adam Jean, he's been in such good form, and he had chances in the first half maybe to get that second goal. Takes this one. Let's have a look at how it all builds up, but such a good finisher, Adam Jean. It's a set piece, ball comes in. First header's won. Look at that, there's no marking for the first header, no marking for the second header. Really, OKC, with all those white shirts in there? And maybe that's an example of why OKC haven't made the playoffs. That was just poor defending.
Cochran, the header down, set it all up. That's 17 goals now. He only needs 5 more in the final 20 minutes to challenge for the Golden Boot. But he'd lose on assists, so he really needs 6. Jump Solomon Asante. Hyland from distance, so long. 89 goals for Phoenix. Last year, Louisville had 77, including the playoffs. That was most in the league by comparison.
Phenomenal in every sense. And there's another stat. It's now 19 of their 34 games this season they've won by 3 or more goals. 19 of 34 by 3 or more goals. I mean, that's just another phenomenal stat.
The other 3 teams that are currently in position to host a quarterfinal playoff game in the Western Conference have a combined goal difference of plus 49. Phoenix is plus 54. Combined.
It's been a crazy season. It's just been absolutely out of this world. But there's still some important games to come.
Fleming's on the cut. Fleming's again. Junior Fleming's number may be coming up shortly. Phoenix has not used any of their 3 subs yet. Musa, Bjornathan, Kalistri, Rigi, Farrell, and Johnson are the players available for selection off the bench. Of course, Wazinski, the backup goalkeeper. Kalistri's making his way over. Fleming's off the back heel. Watson working to combine. Ross, pressure arriving, and right up the gut. Perfectly played to Deshaun Brown. The step, Deshaun Brown. Oh! What a goal that is! An absolute missile. Academic perhaps, but that is a thing of beauty from Deshaun Brown.
He is such a good striker. We've spoken about him. We've mentioned what he can do. He is brilliant up front. 14 goals this season. That makes it number 15. Just wonder if those around him have performed a bit more. Wow, look, that is absolutely fabulous. Out of this world. One of the top goals for this weekend. Absolutely no question. If a few more around him have upped their game, they would definitely be in the playoffs. This guy is top class.
15 goals for Brown. 73rd minute. Changes coming for Phoenix as they hold a 3-1 lead. Vaquero's regular season is complete. Joey Kalistri comes on. And at the stop, Jason Johnson comes on. That's 2 of the 3 substitutes for Phoenix. So 1 remaining.
Yeah, good time to give them a run out, get their legs stretched. The game is pretty much wrapped up from a Phoenix point of view, so you'd want to get a few of the other players a few minutes on the pitch. It's all going according to plan, really, except for the clean sheet. I'm sure that there's a bit of a moment there for Zach Lubin where he's thinking, hell with it, I thought I had another clean sheet in the bag. I haven't got one, but nonetheless, it still looks like it's going to be a comfortable win, unless, of course, OKC score another.
Is that 6 to close the regular season without a clean sheet?
It is. That's got to be a concern. You've got to fight to keep a clean sheet.
And in came Omar Gordon. There have been a couple of back passes sent with malaise. You seem much more calm about that. As a goalkeeper, you're like, yeah, he's got it. It's a little more concerned.
Yeah, they're so good, Phoenix, going forward. They're wonderful to watch, but I sometimes think they're just a little bit less focused on defending brilliantly. They attack brilliantly. Maybe they would like to just defend a little bit more carefully at the back. As you say, 6 games now without a clean sheet. That's not how you want to be going into the playoffs. It's a small thing to be picky about, but it could be a vital thing.
John, he's got 2 goals, 11 shots on target, 8 saves from Brian Byers, including the penalty. It was still 0-0. Jason Johnson. Aginaga. Johnson. Positive slide by Jones. Save thousands of dollars when you buy or sell your home. Homey gives you the support to buy or sell your home without charging the 6% commissions. It's a flat $1,500 to sell your home no matter what the price of the home is. Go to homey.com to learn more. Mike Watts with the homies tonight. Gary Bailey, our producer Sharni Yerke, Eric Falero, director Gage Tillotson. and our wonderful Vista WorldLink crew. Phoenix Rising on the verge of setting the points and win record. Asante allowed that through, maybe a hair out of his reach. Oklahoma City eliminated with their loss to RGV last time out, a team that will miss the playoffs for the second time in a row after making it 4 straight years. Being a regular in the Western Conference Final. Aginaga goes to ground, free kick Phoenix.
If you're Deshaun Brown, I'd be a little bit miffed. Is that an English word that
no, that one
familiar with?
translates.
Yeah. You get the idea. 15 goals, some of them absolutely brilliant, like the one we saw here today. You don't make the playoffs. It's a fantastic performance by Deshaun Brown up front. He's had a few assists. Tim Omar Gordon's managed to get 5, Cordell Cato 3, but you need some 10s and 12s around him to also add to those numbers. Maybe that's something for the acquisition staff to look for next season.
Lambert sends that flying into the stands. You don't get to keep that. Got to throw that ball back.
Lovely fans, though. I mean, the vibe at some of the stadiums in the USL have been absolutely incredible here at Phoenix and the St. Louligans, and there's just so many teams that I watch and see the fans singing and playing musical instruments the entire match, even when their teams are losing.
Well done by Gordon to streak onward. And Brown goes to ground. Your instrument growing up was a what?
My instrument growing up?
Did you play?
Nope.
Okay. Not in England, not in South Africa. There's no instrument that pulled your heartstrings?
Nope. Just a soccer ball.
Well, a card is coming here.
Another one.
Well, that ball had sort of sprung out in a way that could have led to advantage. Didn't work out that way. Just the referee reached for his pocket. Perhaps he'll hold on to it now. It appears he has.
Well, lots of smiles between the players, and you sort of feel as if the game is over, but OKC goal could change the entire atmosphere. I think the fans feel it's over. They feel that Phoenix Rising have been so dominant that there's no way they could lose it from here. But if you were a neutral, an OKC goal now would be something that would make for a very exciting finish.
Dio take his time. Trio of energy players coming together.
It's the only way to stop Solomon Asante. Knock him down to the ground. Assistant ref doing well to spot that. Alerts the referee and they get the free kick. Unfortunately, I don't think the little man's going to break the goal scoring record now, because the hat-trick in the last 10 minutes might be a little bit too much to ask for. He said that 3 penalty misses in the last few games, and he'll be kicking himself over that.
He gives himself a new goal to reach a year from now. Asante will go caroming through. Aginaga sends that out.
These fans are going to have some exciting games still to come in the playoffs. Be very surprised if they don't have, what, 2 or 3 more games?
Quarterfinal, semifinal, final, 4. We could get 4 more parties in Phoenix.
They certainly deserve to have those games, but they're not guaranteed. That's the only problem.
Look at this, Gordon scooped it out. Pressure from behind made that infinitely more difficult.
Just have a look at this again and look at Phoenix Rising in defense. not as compulsively good as they are in attack. And again, are they throwing too many bodies forward? Are they not controlling the lead? At 3-1, you want to just control that lead. You don't need necessarily to get a fourth. You certainly don't need to take chances at the back and let Omar Gordon in. Again, I just wonder if they shouldn't be a little bit more conservative in their play when they're ahead. Then how does one pick fault with the Phoenix Rising team that's just virtually broken every single record? So maybe we just focus on the good side of it. Another yellow card.
That's 5. 5 yellows to OKC. Kyle Highland, welcome to the book. Click some heels here.
It's coming in a little bit late from behind there. Be careful these days. You've got to get the ball, and even the way you get the ball, you have to be careful. But again, nothing nasty. This match hasn't had a moment's nastiness in it. It's been a good, pleasant fight between the players. There's been good commitment both sides.
Cato. Gordon has been a real spark again, hasn't he?
He's positive, he runs at defenses, he causes all sorts of problems. Really, really good player to have in your side, and physically strong as well. Hard to push off the ball.
Free kick for OKC Energy FC. Once upon a time, a Western Conference standard bearer year after year. Change coming for Phoenix. This will be their final change of the regular season. It'll be Musa coming on. Aginaga comes out as at this point Phoenix tries to see this out.
Quality players coming off the bench. Calistri and Musa and Jason Johnson. Aginaga just applauds the crowd and they applaud him back. Again, that's the wonder of this Phoenix team, is you've got good players fighting others in every single position. And that way you have to keep your performances high, otherwise you lose your place.
Musa on, Gordon fires it in front. And a header that'll tear him out of play.
Well, I guess from OKC's point of view, if you're 2-0 down at halftime away at Phoenix and you end up losing 3-1, at least Steve Cook can say, well, the second half we weren't that bad. We stopped a potential embarrassing score against a team that's been unbelievable all season, so we can take something out of the second half. It still is it's a bad way to end the season, isn't it? Now it's 6 losses and a draw from the last 7, 1 point from 21 for OKC.
5 minutes to go. Points 76, 77, 78. Win number 24, 5 minutes away. Both would establish new high water marks in the USL Championship. Steve Cook said this team was miles above everybody else, and they embraced the challenge of coming here in front of Asante. Brown, scored. One excellent goal. Gordon in front. Oh, he hit the crossbar. Maybe the top of the post. And we almost had some real nervy moments here down the stretch.
What a good move to Sean Brown on the left-hand side. Fantastic, great acceleration. Beautiful pass into Omar Gordon, who knocks it against the woodwork. And again, question marks about Phoenix in defense, seeing off games, shutting down teams. Have a look at Deshaun Brown. The ball in, brilliant. Omar Gordon, he gets it off that corner piece where the post meets the crossbar. And as you say, if that goes in, suddenly it really is game on. So credit to OKC for fighting their way back into this match, but unlucky to only hit the woodwork.
Ross. Good turn to set this up. Harris. OKC is not going into the night without a fight right now.
I think one of the things you look for in top-class teams is the ability for 10 minutes just to close a game out. Omar Gordon saying he's okay. I think he's just feeling something. But you want to just, if you're 2-0 up, good teams know how to end up by winning 2-0. Just not convinced that Phoenix Rising have really closed this out, with a really good defensive performance. But again, maybe I'm just picking on things. They've been so fantastic going forward. It's hard to criticize.
Iaga. Ross. Asante fighting through it. Takes possession for Phoenix. Lambert. How quick could they strike? Jason Johnson will settle it down more. Rick Shantz was a little bit worried about those 15, 20-yard gaps that would appear between the defenders in the midfield. They want to be a little more structured, perhaps, when they're seeing a game out. Do you know what's coming up next on your Phoenix CW?
Go, tell me.
Coming up next on your Phoenix CW, it's Family Guy. Don't miss the Griffin family antics as they try to navigate life in the quirky town of Quahog. Family Guy coming up after the match.
All right. After that, back to the soccer. Was that a close impersonation?
The judges say.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
I'm told it was very good.
Okay. John Johnson.
Ooh, he hit that off target.
I hear some things just don't translate well to South African culture, and apparently Family Guy is one of those things.
Yeah, I've not heard of it before, but I'm told through others that you did a very good impression there.
All right,
so there's hope for you outside of commentating.
You know, I've had some conversations with Devin Kerr. There are some alternate broadcasts that we really want to do. Cross bounced away from Deshaun Brown. He was lining up like he was going to hit that on the volley. You know, there's impression broadcasts, the just let it rip broadcast, the standards and practices aren't watching broadcast. I mean, alas. That is a very dangerous challenge. And given the fact we are 2 minutes away from the end of the regular season, that is infinitely concerning for Phoenix. Williams goes into the book. That is 6 yellow cards to Oklahoma City players. The referee trying to get Williams out of a kerfuffle.
It was an unnecessary tackle from Mikel Williams, and it was, you know, as you say, 2 minutes to go. The game is over. The season's over. And you come in on Solomon Asante that hard. No wonder the Phoenix Rising players are upset. I just want to make sure that Solo gets up okay. I haven't seen any movement from him on the ground. Let's have a look again. Solo gets it, stops it there, and
caught him at the trailing leg, right?
You know, yeah. He gets the ball, no question he gets the ball, but it's a bit of a lunge to get it. Unnecessary one. Look, Solo turns over and he makes it, you know, look bad as well. But I think what the Phoenix Rising players are saying is, why go in so hard in the dying moments of a match, really?
By the same token, you're just happy that Asante was able to
ride it well, yeah.
Yeah, if you're stuck in with that leg, you don't know how that goes.
That's what we said, that we had the conversation earlier. Should Rick Schantz play him? He wants to play him because he wants to play, so he doesn't want to miss out, and he wants to keep him fit. But there's always that little thing in the back of your head that says, what if he gets injured?
But by the same token, once you make that decision, I'm a big believer in why second guess now. Once you've made that call, it's done.
Yep.
I think it would be very easy to look at every decision in that lens. Any time of the year. 3 games in a week. Why play a midweek?
Well, and you got to the stage here where they're finished top no matter what.
Well, yeah.
There's nothing to play for now. When there's something to play for, of course you have to play your best side. But right now, do you put out a whole second string team? What if Adam Jean got injured? You know, there's a whole lot of questions. But at the same time, you want those players fit and 100% for the playoffs and match fit, so you have to play them as well. Difficult for a coach, and no doubt if Solomon Asante got injured, people would question Rick Schantz and say, should he have played him? But fortunately, he hasn't got injured, in which case you've got to say, well, the coach then made the right decision.
Let's say this. 3 weeks into the year, is Rick Schantz the right guy? They did not get off to the start they wanted. They had 7 game-tying goals in their first 3 games. They started with draw after draw, points dropped, and everyone was wondering, could they make up for that? Solomon Asante, 22 goals, 17 assists. He is the runaway MVP of the USL Championship this year. A Phoenix team that won 20 games in a row, an American professional soccer record. Records that may never be beaten. Phoenix has obliterated them all.
Awesome. Brilliant. I don't know what one says, what more one says. Go on, score in the last minute. Go on.
One more for Asante. Great save, Byers. This fairy tale won't see the ending they want in this particular juncture. Doesn't mean they won't find it on November 17th in Phoenix.
Huge salute to Phoenix Rising. This has been a phenomenal season in every sense. They ended in style with all these records, and now all they have to do is take it into the playoffs. They certainly deserve success in the playoffs, but I'm afraid they're still going to have to earn it.
Referee allowing this to play out. Calistri. It's a throw.
No one seems in a hurry to take it. They're all looking at the referee saying, why don't you just blow the whistle?
And this record-setting regular season comes to a conclusion with win 24, a league record for points. An MVP runaway, the Coach of the Year runaway. A Phoenix Rising team whose only goals left could all culminate November 17th, Casino Arizona Field. But tonight, it's all positives. Phoenix back on the winning track with the playoffs beginning in 8 short days.
Absolutely, that's what they all wanted, a win. Something they're used to. There's a smile. Solomon Asante got through, got a bit of a kick at the end. I think he's limping. Let's have a look at him there. He's limping a little bit, but hopefully nothing too serious. And Rick Schantz will check on that, but he's happy. The coach has got them back winning again at the perfect time, winning in style. Let's not forget there was a penalty save. There was chances for Adam Jean and Solomon Asante with near open goals. So Rick Schantz has got to feel that he's got them in the right place at the right time for the playoffs.
And the celebration is on here. USL Championship regular season title winners. For Steve Cook and OKC Energy, it's going to be a disappointing conclusion. They crash out without a win in the last month plus. They were in the playoff picture, and they come up short. Let's take a look at tonight's Mobile Mini man of the match. Adam Jean, not 1 goal, but 2, and the second was really special.
I thought the first was special as well. Back to goal, turns and bends it into the corner, but you're right, the second one was a good finish as well. He could have had a third when he missed in front of the goals, and there's Steve Cook going around just saying congrats to his team, but they didn't do enough, did they? Maybe the second half they did, but this little man here was brilliant throughout. Solomon Asante, and Brian Byers said he was coming there to cause some problems. He certainly made some decent saves.
Got highlights, stats, and more coming up after this.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Mobile Mini is a lockdown defender. Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
Well, these supporters are going to enjoy this moment, and they've got a trophy to show. Last year, it was the Western Conference Playoff Championship. This year, they win the regular season title outright and by a mile. 3-1 Phoenix over OKC in the regular season finale, and next Saturday night, the playoffs kick off. Back with Gary Bailey, Mike Watts. Gary can appreciate tonight's Whataburger. What a save of the match. Any goalkeeper could. It's not always easy when you play out of the back. Wheeling a bit of a struggle here.
Yeah, Wheeling with a bad ball back. Zach Lubin with a fantastic lunge. It doesn't matter whether you save it with your foot, your hand, whatever. But if he doesn't get to that ball, that's in the back of the net. So it was a crucial save by Zach Lubin, and hopefully made up for the little mistake at the end of the last match, which now is history. We don't even worry about that. The goalkeeper's back on form.
On we go to full-time highlights. 13th minute, Asante draws the penalty. 14th minute, Byers makes the save.
Yeah, Ibiaga there with just the push on the back there, and Solo steps up. We think, come on, got to get this one tucked away, but it's not a good penalty. Byers chooses the right way, and in the end, it's a comfortable save for the keeper. But there was still so much more to come. They were carving out chances left, right, and centre. Phoenix ball comes into Solo here. He's going to little cut inside to Adam John. John with his back to the goal turns and bends that into the far post.
Minute 21, goal 16, assist 17, and Asante is the all-time single-season assist record holder in the championship. Asante lets this one run through. That's a bit of a curveball, a slider there from Lambert.
It is, and I'm just wondering if Byers could have maybe got to there a little bit quicker, but I think credit to Lambert. He's bent it. You see it from behind. It really bends, hard to deal with. Tucks it inside the post. Happy days. Then a free header, free finish. Adam Jean with his second. OKC defending all over the place.
69th minute, 3-0, but OKC not done yet. This goal could be up for goal of the week, believe it or not, Deshaun Brown.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough on Zach Lubin to lose your clean sheet, but you lose it to an unbelievable strike from Deshaun Brown, who, yeah, he must be happy with that, but he must also feel that his team with those sort of goals should have made the playoffs.
Well, this is what the bracket looks like now. Phoenix won't know even until the second game is done who they're going to play. They will face the highest numerical seed, the lowest remaining team in the table out of those playing games. So that's on Wednesday night. So they'll know Wednesday night who they're playing on Saturday.
Yeah, and I don't think any of those four teams that it could be would worry them too much, especially with the way they're playing at home. After that, perhaps they come up against the likes of Orange County, who are in great form, and then maybe in the final the likes of a Fresno or Reno. So bigger matches still to come, but I think we just have to give credit to one of the best football seasons ever seen by any team in the US. Records broken left, right, and center. It has been phenomenal, Phoenix Rising.
Well, there they are, enjoying this moment. Regular season title winners. You know, in England, it's all anybody talks about. You might talk about Champions League, but these guys all lined up, the fans behind them to enjoy it. They're going to hand them the USL's regular season championship trophy. Solomon Asante will lift it. And for 34 games, the dominant team in the championship has proven their mettle. And, you know, this is what matters in most of the world. To do this for 34 games is very difficult.
It matters more than the playoffs in the rest of the world because you've done it over an entire season, and they just haven't done it. They have smashed records doing it, which is what makes it so incredible. But here in the US, the playoffs are also very, very important. So once they've got over these celebrations and they've had the pictures and the selfies taken, they're going to have to start focusing on next weekend and continuing this journey right until the very end.
Great new hors d'oeuvre plate with the captain. Jose Bosch says that thing holds 43 pizza rolls. I don't know how he knew that. As Phoenix will enjoy the night and then turn their attention away. Next broadcast in the USL Championship tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 in Arizona, ESPN 3, Monarchs Sacramento. They're going to have big implications on who Phoenix sees next. Coming up, we've got Family Guy. It is producer Charney Yerke, director Gage Tillotson, Eric Valera, Gary Bailey, the ghosts of Tyler and Devin. Mike Watts saying so long. Phoenix, all the records, 3-1 winners. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.